Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from Greedy Tech and this is the camera comparison between the 6GB RAM variant of the ASUS M1 with the 3GB RAM variant. Now these are the specifications of both phones. Both the 3GB RAM variant and the 4GB RAM variant come with the same cameras, and out of that two variants, I have the 3GB RAM variant. So throughout the video, I'll be referring to this phone as a 3GB RAM variant. 3GB RAM variant comes with a dual camera setup with a 13 megapixel primary camera with f2.2 aperture and a 5 megapixel secondary camera with f2.4 aperture. On the front, it is an 8 megapixel camera with f2.2 aperture. Now coming to the 6GB RAM variant, on the rear, it has a dual camera setup with a 16 megapixel primary camera with f2.0 aperture and a 5 megapixel secondary camera with f2.4 aperture. On the front, it has a 16 megapixel camera. Now before we get started, this is something you need to know. Cameras, especially the front-facing camera, was pretty horrible on the 3GB RAM variant when it was launched, that is right after unboxing. But after the latest update, which I probably got like 10 days ago, cameras have improved a lot. Right now, cameras on the 6GB RAM variant are also pretty bad, but they might improve with a future update. Now with that said, this is how the cameras perform right now. Now these are some pictures taken in well-lit conditions with HDR on both phones. Images from the 6GB variant look overexposed, colors look faded, and images lack sharpness. Images from the 3GB variant are a bit dull but have good color reproduction and better sharpness. While taking HDR shots, capturing speeds are slow on both phones. We also get a faded effect on both phones. On 6GB variant, it is pretty visible. On the whole, both phones suck, but 3GB variant performs slightly better. Now these are some pictures taken without HDR in auto mode. Once again, images from 6GB variant are a bit overexposed, while images from 3GB variant are a bit dull. Colors look slightly saturated on the 6GB variant, while the 3GB variant has close to accurate colors with noticeably better brightness. So as of now, rear cameras are better on the 3GB variant of the ASUS M1. Now coming to the portrait mode, these are the sample pictures. Edge detection is good on both phones, but images from the 6GB variant look a bit overexposed. You get the faded effect, colors are close to accurate colors, but they don't look pleasing. Now the portrait shots from the 3GB variant look more cleaner, brighter, and colors look pleasing. So for portrait shots, I prefer the 3GB RAM variant. Now coming to low light performance, images from the 6GB variant once again are overexposed, colors look faded, and it lacks sharpness. Images from the 3GB variant has good color reproduction and has good sharpness. So even in low lighting conditions, 3GB variant is the winner. Now coming to selfies, selfies from the 6GB variant are once again overexposed and selfies look very soft. When there is a bright background like the sky or a light, background is completely blown out and it's just bad. Comparatively, selfies from the 3GB variant look good. In good lighting conditions, selfies from the 6GB variant look cleaner, while on 3GB variant, we get a faded effect. So overall, 3GB variant is performing better, but if you consider only the good lighting conditions, 6GB variant is performing better. Now coming to portrait selfies, once again edge detection is good on both phones. On 6GB variant, selfies are a bit overexposed, background is blown out, subject looks good, but images look edited. In good lighting conditions, selfies look cleaner than 3GB variant. Now the portrait shots from the 3GB variant have better exposure control in bad lighting conditions, but the selfies are again not very sharp. For this round, I'll call it as a tie. You can pick the winner based on your preference. If it was me, I'll pick 3GB variant once again. Now coming to the low light performance, selfies from the 6GB variant are overexposed, they lack sharpness and look very bright. Selfies from 3GB variant have good exposure control, good sharpness and good color reproduction. So 3GB variant wins once again. Now coming to video recording, here's the sample footage. This video is recorded at 1080p resolution. Both phones can record in 4K, but there's no electronic image stabilization for any resolution. So guys, this is the footage recorded using the ASUS M1 6GB RAM variant and the 3GB RAM variant. On the left side I have the 6GB RAM variant and on the right side I have the 3GB RAM variant. And I'm recording this video at 1080p resolution. That's the maximum resolution supported by the phones. And audio is from the phone itself, so check out the noise cancellation and stabilization offered by both phones. Footage from 3GB variant is pretty warm, while the footage from the 6GB variant has good color temperature, but it changes frequently. I'll say footage is bad on both phones, but comparatively, footage from 6GB variant looks slightly better. So guys, this is the footage recorded using the front-facing camera of the Asus M1 6GB RAM variant and the 3GB RAM variant. On the left side I have the 6GB RAM variant, on the right side I have the 3GB RAM variant. So audio is from the phone itself, so check out the noise cancellation and stabilization offered by both phones. For some reason from day one, I find the footage or the videos or the photos to be better on the previous one, the 3GB RAM variant, while right now it's a bit overexposed on the 6GB RAM variant. Footage from the 3GB variant simply looks better. Footage from 6GB variant is overexposed and my face just looks pretty bad. So guys, to conclude, cameras as a hardware is better on the 6GB variant, but right now it needs a lot of optimization. As of now, 3GB variant is performing better. With a future update, even 6GB variant might perform better, but there's no guarantee when we'll get it or if it will really improve the cameras or not. So if you want my suggestion, if cameras are your priority, it's better to consider phones like Realme 1 or the Redmi Note 5 Pro. So guys, looking at the sample pictures and the sample footage, what's your take on the camera performance of these phones? Let me know by commenting below this video, and if you're planning to buy any of these phones, use the link in the description. It really helps the channel. If you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter and we will try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.